It's a little bit after 12 here, 12 p.m. Where's everybody tapping in from? Where are you guys tapping in from? I know we typically have people from all over, not even just here in the US. So drop it in the chat real quick as we get the session started. Where is everybody streaming in from? All right, cool. So we are live on this beautiful and blessed Monday. Hopefully everyone's had a great weekend so far. I know today is a holiday, right? So we did not trade today. We didn't trade today. I know a few people did get on the charts. I stick to the script and I don't break the script. So there's a few times that I don't trade. Number one is holidays. No matter how good that setup is looking, I don't get in on holidays. And number two, I just try. It's not really like a thing, but I try not to trade on Fridays. I give Fridays my day of like awakening. It's you know what I'm saying, it's my day to get back to myself, just relax, not have to get up and hit the charts and do all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely lit. It's definitely lit. I also usually make my withdrawals on Thursday, probably Thursday or Friday. So those are usually my withdrawal times too. So if I made it on Thursday, then I wake up to some money on Friday. And if I make it on Friday, I typically do the express withdraw and pay the fee. So, you know, great work, right? But today is Labor Day. So happy Labor Day to everybody that's on the stream with us today. I'm glad you guys are here today. We're going to be going over something good today, as you guys can see. Hopefully by the title, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I updated it. You're going to officially be talking about the seven daily trading sins and why you would want to stay away from them. So as you're moving into your tradings, you guys know that on Mondays, we go primarily into market psychology. So everything that is not necessarily on the charts, but that you're going to need to be successful on the charts, just plain and simple. Let's go over them real quick and then we'll break them down for you guys. So sin number one, if you guys are taking notes, it's very simply, it is greed. All right, greed. Number two is going to be fear. Number three is going to be pride. Number four is revenge. Number five is sloth or laziness. Number six is gluttony. And number seven is envy. When we're going into it, right? So the first one is going to be greed, okay? And hopefully everybody can see that here on the screen right now. But when you're talking about greed in the markets, this is something that a lot of people, unfortunately, experience, especially when they're brand new to trading. This is something that everybody, okay, has dove into. In fact, most of you who have even gotten into trading has only gotten into trading for one factor, and that is going to be number one right here, which is greed. So when you're looking at greed, greed can lead to many different things in the market, such as over trading, chasing profits, all right, and refusing to close the trade when you know you probably should close. In fact, I think we either just did a video on that or there's a video coming up in the future, right? I got so many scheduled. Where we're talking a little bit about that, which is having a plan. And I know on the first Monday live stream that we did, I believe 2 weeks ago, we talked about your trading plan and why it's important to not only have the trading plan, but to have goals within your trading plan. Because when you don't have the goals in your trading plan, what happens is a lot of traders get into the market, so they get on the charts, and every day, whether they realize it or not, you're kind of just winging it. So what do I mean by that? If you don't know how much money you want to make on a daily or weekly basis, if you don't know how many pips or what the percentage is that you're looking to grasp, right, from day to day, if you don't have a set plan as you're trading, then what's happening is every time you get on the charts, it makes it that much easier for you to give into greed. Why? Well, let's say if I did have a plan, and let's say my plan is to start off by making $100 a day. If I'm disciplined enough to, you know, not be greedy, and my plan is $100 a day, then I know that when I hit $100, I pull out of the trade. See, what this does is it eliminates over trading, it eliminates revenge trading, it eliminates over leverage. It eliminates so much when you have a plan in place, because I can't revenge trade if I know, look, there's the possibility it might not go in my direction. And if it does not go in my direction, I'm taking my loss for the day. If you have a plan to how much money you're willing to lose every day, which we talked about in the trading plan video, then it's easy for you to say, I expected this, even though I wanted it to go this way, I expected there was a possibility that it might go this way. And if you're disciplined, you won't give in to the greed, right? So a trading plan is probably the best way to kind of just completely eliminate greed from your factor. Now, yes, you will still have that gut, like still at this, like it happens to me sometimes, right? Where I pull out because I'm disciplined, I pull out of the trade and then I see it still going and I'm like, oh my God, right? Oh my God, should I stayed in? Should I trailed, my stops? But again, it's all mentality, it's all mindset, it's all the way that you think about the markets. When you're able to calm down a little bit and not be so focused on the money, but more focused on consistency, you'll see that the greed starts to kind of get eliminated from your thought process a little bit. And instead of greed, I use words like excitement, right? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to take out the greed part. I don't want to be greedy in the markets. It is okay to be excited. It is okay because that excitement is what brings you back to the markets the next day. Well, like, we got to keep it real with that too. Like, sometimes, I might make, like, I remember there was this one time I pulled out of the trade. I believe it was like 3 months ago. It's probably like 2-3 months ago. I pulled out of a position and it was probably the quickest $2,500 I've ever made. So it was about between like, I think it was between 2,300 and 2,500, somewhere in that range. And I remember right when I pulled out, the markets literally pulled back a little bit, and that's why I pulled out, right? Hit like my little area to which not losing anymore. And then it shot up and I could have made like 5,000 on that trade, right? And I was like, oh my God, like I was freaking out. And I remember the next day and the day after coming back to the charts, and I just kept thinking about like, yo, that could have been a $5,000 a day. And I was super hyped, I'm not gonna lie. But I stayed disciplined. And even though, it was an exciting moment, and even though it was like, man, like even the thought that you could be making, because the way that I always think about trading, and I want you guys to kind of adapt this as well, is that it doesn't matter how much money you can make. To me, it's all consistency. So when I see days like that, where it's like, okay, I had the potential, I made about 2,500, but I had the potential to make about 5,000. What I realize is that if I'm just consistent at my strategy, because just consistent at catching the amount of pips that I look to catch on a daily basis, the money is going to come because all I got to do is increase my lot size a little bit. So I go from trading 2 standards to maybe 5 standards, from 5 standards to maybe 10 standards. And with the increase of lots, that will naturally increase the profit. But you got to build the consistency first. So I'm looking at that and I'm getting excited, but I'm not getting excited about the fact that I could have made X, Y, and Z. I'm getting excited about the potential and like, yo, when I built the account up to this point, it's lit, it's over. But in the back of my mind, I still understand what? I have to build the account up, and that's going to take time. So with me, that helps me kind of control the greed factor in my trading, right? Does that make sense? All right. So greed turns winning trades into losing trades, and that is absolutely factual facts, okay? The next one is going to be fear. All right. It's not letting me delete. Okay, so number 2 is going to be fear, okay? So fear is definitely something that scares, right? Something that scares a lot of people when it comes to trading. So being scared to enter your trade, even when you know your setup is valid, or closing a trade too early in the fear of losing money, okay? So you guys know that I'm super big on you can never go broke when taking profits, right? So keep calm and take profits. You can never go broke taking profits, okay? I'm big on that. But what you don't want to do is kind of make that your own definition to it. And what I mean by that is looking at that and saying that I'm just going, as long as I'm take the money out, I'm just going to take the profit, right? You have to understand that there should be set parameters. And as long as you have a good risk to reward, and that's the thing too, is that you guys have to learn how to manage your risk properly, and you have to get good at risk management, managing the risk, understanding, 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 1.5, whatever the case may be. You got to learn to get good at the risk factor. And if you can get good at managing your risk and getting better at your risk to reward when it comes to trading, and understanding your stop losses and your take profits and trailing your stops a little bit, doing that kind of stuff, when you guys start to get good at that, I guarantee you the fear is going to go away a little bit. Okay, so when you're entering your trade, okay, or like, because when it comes to fear, most people are afraid to enter the trade because of the fear of losing the trade, right? Whether that be you enter too early, you enter too soon, or whatever the case may be. I think next week we're going to go over back testing. I'm going to show you guys a little secret that I use to back test in the market. It's going to be super lit. I haven't released this to anybody, so you know, I think it's gonna be lit. So make sure you guys are on next Monday. It's definitely gonna be crazy. I'm gonna show you guys I guess automated, but like an AI automated way to backtest your strategy. Super lit, but it does require you to actually get on the charts and trade, right? But going back to what I'm saying is that when you guys get these risk to rewards down, it's easier to get in. Most people are afraid to enter because they're afraid to lose. But if you have a proper risk set and you're not over leveraging and you're not trying to, like, let's say, like, you know, you have to study. Like, you have to study and look at, you know, backtest the markets. If I backtest enough times, when I'm backtesting, more than looking for if the trade is going in my direction, what I like to do is I like to look at how much pips did it not go in my direction. Okay, so how far did it go in the opposite direction? That's what I look for, because I base my take profit off of my stop loss. So if I'm backtesting a strategy and I'm backtesting in a specific market or whatever the case may be, I'm looking for how much at this time following my strategy, how much did it reverse? And let's say if it reversed, let's just say 20 pips, and I notice that it consistently drops back, the most that it goes is between 20 or 25 pips, then I'm going to set my stop loss around that 25 to 30 pip mark. And I know that if I'm trading a 1-to-1, then my take profit should be at least 30 pips. If I'm trading a 1-to-2, then my take profit should be at least 60 pips. But I always base that not off of how much money I want to make and not off of how much money or how far the markets move in my direction. I base it off of how far the markets don't go in my direction. And from that helps me eliminate the fear of getting into the trade, because I'm not worried about if the trade is not going to go in my direction, because I know that one win can make up for 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 losses, right? So you got to learn to get rid of that fear. It comes with confidence in knowing, you know, your strategy and knowing where the markets might or might not go next. But more importantly, it comes with the confidence of back testing first. Most people don't get on the charts and back test and journal their trades. And that's why they hesitate to either get into the trade, or when they're in the trade, they hesitate to either close or they close too early. And it's because you did not do enough journaling and backtesting. Fear keeps you from following your plan. So as long as you have the plan in place and you're disciplined, you can eliminate the fear of getting into the trade. Deadly sin number 2. Let's go on to number 3. All right. Number 3, we got pride. And pride is a big one. Pride is a big one. I've seen this happen again and again and again. Okay. Refusing to admit when you're wrong and holding on to losing positions. All right. So refusing to admit when you are wrong and holding on to losing trades. Now, most people kind of confuse this with revenge trading, and this isn't revenge trading. This is prideful trading. This is like when you're in that position and you probably showed it to somebody, or maybe you put it in the group chat, or you posted it on social media, and you know you probably shouldn't be in no more. 10 minutes has gone by, 15 minutes has gone by. You're like, why am I still in this trade? But because you already posted it up, you don't want to post, look, listen, I'm hopping out. It is not going in my direction. It's time to cut ties with this trade right here, right? So pride is a big thing when it comes to trading, especially I think personally, when it comes to coaching, when it comes to people that are teaching, when it comes to people that have academies or people that are really big on social media, pride is the #1 killer for these guys. And the reason why this is important for viewers, this is why I don't give signals and I don't recommend signals and stuff like that to people. I just personally don't. Is because when you're following somebody else's trade, you're following someone else's mistakes, right? You're following somebody else that might not have the best discernment on that position, solely because of their pride, of their ego, of the, like that, not validation, but like that needingness to be right. And we all know that in trading, you can't have that. You can't like be so sure that you're right all the time, because there is no absolutes in trading. Anything can happen, which is why as traders, we have to be willing to adjust, right? Adjust to the markets, adjust to conditions, adjust to all these different things. So when you have pride, pride kills accounts. Pride kills accounts. Humility keeps you in the game. Okay? Yeah, divorce the trade. That's right. Divorce the trade. Got to get out of there. Okay. So number 4, we got revenge trading. So this, again, a lot of people confuse pride and revenge trading as to be one. They're not. So revenge trading is actually getting back into the trade after taking a loss. So this is wrath, right? If you guys know the actual 7 sins, right? So when you're revenge trading, okay, after taking a loss, trying to get back into a trade immediately with impulse, okay? And what happens, a lot of people do this. So this is the typical situation where you believe, you convince yourself in your mind, man, I know it's going to go in this direction. I think I just got in too early, okay? And what usually happens is it usually leads to a double loss. Now, there are some situations where you might revenge trade and it's going to go into your direction. But I think about, just thinking back in my trading journey, probably about 85 to 90% of the times that I've revenge traded, I just took a double L, sometimes even a triple L, right? How many of y'all can relate to that? Drop a 7 in the chat real quick. Let's be honest. Let's keep the vulnerability up there. Drop a 7 in the chat, guys. If you guys have ever gotten back into a trade because you convinced yourself you got in too early, right? Or maybe I got spiked out. It was liquidity or whatever it was, right? Oh, it was news. News took me out the trade. So then you got back into the trade and you lost again. You ain't learned your lesson, right? So we got to learn how to take those L's and hold on to them like no other, okay? And I know that's going to hurt some of y'all. It's going to hurt your ego. It's going to hurt your pride. But sometimes we got to look at it, look in the mirror, right? Look in the mirror and say, hold that L, all right? Hold that L, brother, okay? Hold that L, sister. It's over, right? We got to live to see another trade, okay? So it usually leads to a bigger loss. It's never a good idea to get back into a trade. And I know sometimes it could be really, really tempting, especially when you watched with your own eyes. The one time you decided not to revenge trade, you watch it go into your direction and you're like, oh my God, right? Oh my, it goes back to sin number 1. Now they're working hand in hand. So now you got greed in there. You're like, oh my God. Next time it happens, I'm getting in. I'm getting back in. I'm never gonna, you know what I'm saying? And then it becomes a thing, right? So, you know, you gotta get on. You gotta get on with it. Once you lose, I have a rule for myself. You know, I typically set, based off of how I trade, my risk to reward, my account size, I typically set a parameter of how much I'm willing to lose money-wise per day. Sometimes I might have a really good week and I might be willing to lose a little bit more. Not too much. I never over-exaggerate. I never over-leverage, do anything crazy like that. But I might be up a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing a half of a risk to reward, a half of a loss on this. And I might get back in. But again, that's only if I know I'm good and like I'm up for the week and I'm already like way over my goal. So I'm like, you know what? Even if I lose just half of this position of today, it's not going to make a big dent in my account, right? But what you never want to do is again, jump back into that trade and convince yourself that it's a good idea. What I do is I look at my account, I look at where I'm at, and I make a smart, educational, logical decision on whether or not I should or shouldn't jump back in. Typically, I don't though. Once I hit that threshold that I was telling you guys about, or how much I'm willing to lose for that day, I'm done. Okay, if I already hit it on that first trade, there's no way I'm getting back in. If I didn't hit it on the first trade and I took the loss, but I still have some room, I might get back in. But you always have to have that threshold of knowing how much you're willing to lose in a single day. And if you hit that mark, get off the charts and move on. All right. Next one is going to be laziness. All right, laziness. All right, or sloth. Right. So I think most traders that I talk to suffer from this right here. Most new traders, most beginner traders. And that's why I do these Monday sessions. Like I said, I know these are probably not going to be the most popular sessions on YouTube because people aren't really searching this kind of stuff. But I'm still getting on every Monday with y'all and doing this anyway, because this right here is why I believe most people fail in the markets, okay? So not journaling your trades, not back testing your trades, and not preparing for your session properly. So laziness leads to repeated mistakes instead of learning off of those mistakes. So when we take the L's, instead of making those L's lessons, we're just constantly taking losses. And it's because we're lazy in the market. We want to be full-time traders. We want to make all this money, but we're not willing to put in the work. And the work isn't even that hard. The work to be a full-time trader is not as hard as it might be. Working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. But people are not willing to put in the work. So everybody wants to get rich and everybody wants to make the money and everybody sees the glory. But most people, they just want to skip through the story. They want to skip through the chapters. They don't want to go through the ups and downs. They don't want to abide by the law of process and understanding that things take time. And part of that process is you journaling. Part of that process is you back testing. Part of that process is waking up and having a morning routine, or if you don't trade in the morning, a nightly routine. You need a routine for your trading. It's crazy that most people will get a job and they'll have a set routine for their job, meaning they know what time they have to go to bed every day. They know what time they need to wake up every day. They know the exact moment, right? If you live in like a city, I'm from New York. If you live in a city, they know the exact second that they need to be at that bus stop or that train station. They have a full-on routine to get to work, but you tell them to trade and they're like, oh my God, it's about to be, and they're just running to the charts, trying to catch something in 5 minutes, right? So you have to not be lazy when it comes to this thing. If you want to win big, you got to treat it like a profession. You got to treat it like you actually want to get rich in trading. Okay. So start journaling, start back testing, make sure you got your trading plan. All right. And make sure you're prepared for your sessions every day, whatever that looks like for you. For me personally, I'm always on the charts. Number one, I always kind of I'm not gonna say I look at the charts, but I am always kind of aware of what's going on in the markets. I open up my charts every once in a while, kind of look at what direction we're going, seeing if they broke the trends from the previous morning or whatever the case may be. But in the mornings when I get up, I know my alarm is set. I got a bunch of alarms set. I got an alarm set for these sessions, right? I set alarms for everything. I got ADD, so I would definitely forget, right? But I set my alarms for about 30 or 45 minutes ahead of time. Alarm goes off. I know. Usually I'm already ready, but I know if I'm not, okay, it's game time, right? Everybody in my house knows, look, I got to hit the charts in about 40 minutes. I'm clocked out. Clocked out of the house, clocked into this chair right here, right? I need my coffee. I can't roll out of the bed and trade. I don't know if anybody's like me. I got like hygiene issues. Like I need to be good. You know what I'm saying? When I say issues, they're not issues. They're good. They're good issues, right? But like my face gotta be good. My teeth gotta be brushed. I need clothes on. I don't trade like I just woke up. You know what I'm saying? I trade like I'm going outside, like people watching me. Sometimes I might have no shirt on because it's Florida, but I'm still fully dressed. I'm good. I took my shower most of the time, unless I just came back from the gym. But my point is I got my routine and I know what it looks like for me every morning when I get on the charts. So it's not a laziness. It's not like I'm running to the charts. It's not like it's a last minute thing. It's not like I get on the charts kind of like when I feel like it, or like, oh, I'm too tired today, so I'm not going to trade. Even if I'm tired, I still get on the charts. I might not take the setup, maybe because my mind might not be in the best place. You know, if I'm a little stressed out, or, you know, if I'm a little tired, or if I'm not feeling it, which honestly is usually never for me. If you guys can't tell by my energy is always up. I'm always lit, right? But, you know, I'm aware of these things, though. That's my point. So I know what it looks like for me to be on the charts, and I have that routine and that mentality to where I don't treat this thing lazy at all. I don't treat it lazy at all. You got to adapt that as well. Okay. Next one, number 6. We're almost done here, right? Bear with me. Bear with me. So number 6, we're looking at gluttony. All right. Let me check the video stats real quick. See how many people we got on. All right. Cool. Views is going up. Like that. All right. By the way, guys, if you're still watching, go ahead and drop a like on the video. If you haven't already liked it, drop a like. Make sure we're engaging in the chat real quick. We want to get these streams out to more people. I want to make these lit, man. I want to get hundreds of people on these live streams. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be super lit, especially because it's free. Like I said, I know there's people out there that are paying hundreds of dollars, you know, for streams just like this, and we do them for free on YouTube. Some people will find value in them. Some won't find value in them. Maybe you like one week. Maybe you didn't like the next week. Doesn't matter. I'll be here every week anyway, right? So gluttony, over trading, okay? So let's talk about it. So gluttony and over trading, taking too many trades, okay? big, big, big. This is big. Taking too many trades, jumping into every setup, and trading when the market isn't offering clean signals. This is big for me. The reason why this is big for me, especially as a scalper, I'm super impatient. Is anybody else here impatient? Drop it in the chat real quick. Drop something in the chat. Drop a laughing emoji. Drop a LOL. Drop a me. Drop a 7. Put it in the chat. Who here is impatient like me? I am so impatient, like with everything. I really try not to be. I gotta apologize to my kids sometimes because I'm like, you know, not impatient with like attitude. I'm just like, I move fast. I'm like really fast with things. Sometimes they walk too slow for me. I'm like, can you hurry up? And I'm like, I'm sorry, like we're in the street. You gotta walk a little faster, right? You gotta walk a little faster. I try not to yell at you, you know, but like, you gotta hurry up, like, you know, but I don't know, maybe it's a New York thing. I'm here in Florida and I just feel like everybody moves so slow. The only time people don't move slow in Florida is when they're driving. Everybody drives extremely fast. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, the one time you should be focused on safety is the one time in which you in a rush to go nowhere. They'll like slam it and go 80 to get to the next red light. It doesn't make sense, right? But other than that, everyone's so slow. So I'm just like, it drives me nuts. Even the way they talk sometimes, it'd be like, you know, they'd be talking like this, man, and you know, everything is so slow and like, yeah. I'm like, no, we gotta speed it up. You gotta finish your sentence, bro. It's crazy work. All right. But yeah, so so this is really big for me. The reason why is because I had to learn when I get on the charts, and some of y'all might suffer from this too. It was like anytime I opened the charts for the morning, I had to take a trade. I had to take a trade. And it's not like that's what I was telling myself. I think subconsciously the mentality was, it's like, if I'm opening up the charts today and I'm spending all this time on the charts, I gotta take a trade. Like, I can't get off and not trade. So if I'm trading this morning, then I'm trading this morning. That's what my mentality was. If I'm trading this morning, then I'm trading this morning. And what we have to understand is that not every morning or every session that you get on is going to offer a trade setup for you. So this is something that I struggle with big time. And I think it was only right until recently that I stopped kind of forcing these trades. You know, and the reason why I say recently is because you guys know before I took my break from like social media and all that, and I was focused on my business, I used to trade binary options, and it's very easy to kind of not force, but it's very easy to get into at least one position every morning when you're trading binaries. They're so fast, right? When I got back to trading leverage, it was so hard for me to get out of that mentality because in my mind, I was just so used to taking trades every single day that when I got on, I'm like, it's like, man, I know this isn't the best setup, but let me just try it. Let me just try it. You guys ever did something like, oh man, I got some crazy stories, right? I don't know. Whatever, right? But you guys ever did something you know you probably shouldn't have done, and you're like, man, like, let me just try it. I just want to try it real quick, right? Just test the waters a little bit, you know? And yeah, that's how it was. So it's like, I'll be looking at the chart sometimes and I'm like, I know it's like, it doesn't do all this, but this looks like a really good setup. And like, I think I should get in, right? I think I should get in. So I had that phase, right? I had that phase. I'm done with that, by the way. It's over. It's over. The other one is taking too many trades. So I didn't really struggle with this in the past, but recently when I started getting into scalping leverage, right? When I started scalping leverage again, I see a lot of these scalpers, they have multiple positions open. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't really scalped in like a really long time because I was trading binaries for about three and a half, almost 4 years. So I haven't really scalped leverage in a while. So then I started to take multiple positions following all these guys. And don't even ask me why I did that. But I was just like, no, I'm gonna stick to my one position a day. That's it. Because I'm looking at these guys on social media and it looks cool. When you pull up your phone and be like, look at the money I made today. And you got like 4 or 5 trades and it's like, you know, it looks cool. It looks cool. But I'm like, nah, fuck that. So I'd rather just have my one position. Yep. Increase my lot size, and with one trade, make the same amount of money you made with 6 trades. All right. So I'm done with that too. This is just my mentality. This is not how everybody trades. If you take multiple positions, you do that. I can't do that. I can't do it. Right. So taking too many trades, jumping into trades when there's no setup. All right. or jumping into every trade as it sets up, and then, you know, trading when the market isn't even offering clean signals. The point here is quality over quantity, okay? Quality over quantity, okay? I want the good steak, not a lot of the bad steak, okay? If you guys follow me, you know I am pretty heavy on the meat-based diet, right? That's almost all I eat is meat. Pause. But yeah, so when I go out to eat, I like to get a nice fat steak, and I like the good steak. I don't want a bunch of little tiny bits of the $25 steak. I don't want a little, you know what I'm saying? I don't want the 3, oh, but it comes with 3. I don't want that, because if it comes with 3 and it's cheaper than this one, I know this one's fatter, it's juicier, it's better. I don't want the little one that comes with 3 on it, right? I don't want it. So, you know, gluttony is a thing. Quality over quantity in your trading positions. We got to get good at that, okay? The next one is envy. All right, I put 7 here twice. I didn't realize that. This is actually 6. Okay, so last but not least, we got envy. All right, envy. And especially in today's world, I think more when I first got into trading, like heavy, and I think a lot of people as well, was around the pandemic time, because we had nothing better to do than to be at home, right? I was on lockdown in New York, couldn't even leave my house. Funny story, you guys know, in the first 3 months of the whole COVID sector, I did not leave my house. Like, literally, not even joking. I didn't leave my house. I thought it was a zombie apocalypse. Everybody else was worried about viruses and getting sick. I thought we were literally going through a zombie apocalypse. I ain't never experienced nothing like that before, man. I'm in New York, everybody's freaking out. You know what I'm saying? They talk about, we got a virus that came over from another country. I ain't gonna say the country, right? But I'm like, oh no, it's over. It's over. I was stocking up. Yeah. Patting up my door. I'm like, anything comes through that door, it's over. It's over, right? But, you know, during that time, you know, trading kind of blew up, right? The whole online thing, especially with a lot of MLM companies. Yes, I was a part of them too. And they were a great time. None of them were bad. You know, I'm not a part of an MLM right now, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that, you know, the whole MLM trading thing was necessarily a bad thing. It really wasn't. If it wasn't for MLM, I wouldn't be a trader today. Just keeping it real with y'all. If it wasn't for network marketing companies over in trading, I wouldn't be here today, because I learned how to trade literally in network marketing companies. As crazy as that sounds to some of y'all, not all of y'all. Some of y'all learned how to trade too. Some of y'all found me through an MLM company, right? You know, but yeah, so super lit. So comparing yourself is my point. In 2020 and 2021, 2022, those were the years of social media lifestyle. Those were the years where everybody was on social media flaunting their Lamborghinis and flaunting how much money they're making and their penthouses. Now they got, like, everybody's in the penthouse in Miami. Yeah, one of my boys, we were on a call last night. He was talking about how he wants a penthouse in Miami. I said, bro, come on, don't do it, man. Don't buy into it. It's so much better. Come up to West Palm. Get a house. Why you need a penthouse? You get a what, 700 square foot penthouse, right? Penthouse in Miami. Yo, come over here. Same price. You get a 4 or 5 bedroom house. What are you talking about? 2 floors. We ain't worried about that stuff, right? But those were the years of that. And what happens is that a lot of the trading culture has been built off of that. It's been built off of that lifestyle. It's been built off of the comparison. It's been built off of, I can show you how to turn $100 into $10,000 the next week. Look at me take this $1,000 trading account to $1 million in 1 month. Crazy work. Crazy work. All of that is stupid. I'm sorry, if nobody gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. All of that is stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. Unfortunately, there's still people buying into a lot of that stuff today, right? But here's the reality. Comparing yourself to other traders, copying signals, chasing strategies that aren't yours, all of this will lead to distractions and inconsistencies in the market. None of it is gonna help you, like, at all. And I'm passionate about this. None of it is going to help you. Comparing yourself to other traders, copying signals, chasing strategies, none of that is going to help you. You need to lock in. And I remember, you know, because I used to do it too, but I remember when, and I was already making money. That's the crazy part. I was making money in trading, and I still felt like I wasn't successful yet because I wasn't making enough, as much as some of the people around me. Sometimes I was even like, kind of not even afraid, but like, how you say it, like a little like, I don't know what the word, like bashful. Like sometimes I didn't even want to post on social media, like on YouTube, because I didn't feel like I was making enough. Back when I was posting those binary option sessions, right? You know, I was doing when I first started, I was making like $300 in a day, $400 in a trading session. I was lit on the inside and I was super excited, but I was still comparing myself a lot because a lot of the traders that were around me, or even some of the people that I learned from, they were making 5,000. They were showing these $5,000 days and $4,000 days, and I'm still making $300 in a day. And in the beginning, it kind of like bothered me a lot until I tell you what changed everything for me. I got off of social media. And when I say got off of social media, I was still on it, but I stopped listening to social media people. I started listening to podcasts. And what I learned is that most successful traders, and this could sound a little hypocritical, right? But most successful traders are not even on social media. That's what I learned. It kind of excited me. When I finally figured out most successful traders are not even on social media, I started listening to these podcasts and I was following these guys much older, and females, male and female, super lit, much older. Oh, when I say older, at the time, I was in my 20s, but we're talking 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s. And I'm listening to trading podcasts of these guys making $15,000 a month, $20,000 a month, some of them making $100,000 a month. And these are all just regular people in regular houses, right? You wouldn't even know that they're traders, and they live an amazing life. And when I started to watch that and kind of like, I kind of bought into that a little bit more. And I think this is what kind of contributes to how I am in trading and like my overall brand, is I bought into that more than I bought into the lifestyle stuff. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all can resonate. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like nice stuff. I like nice stuff. I'm not really a Lamborghini guy. I personally like Corvettes better. Just saying. I know I'm going to get some hate on that, right? But I like Corvettes better. I'm not, I like nice stuff. I like Rolexes. I do like big houses. Like, I do like nice stuff. I want to make a whole lot of money and provide for everyone around me. Absolutely. But I'm not really into the whole lifestyle, girls, nightclub, Lambos, penthouses, parties. I'm not into that kind of stuff. So when I actually found, I guess, a group of people kind of like me, which just so happen to be older people, right? I guess I'm an old man. but when I found a group of people that was just like me, and I'm like, yo, these guys aren't even on social media. They're not selling any courses. They're not doing any of these things. They're really just making money on trading. That's it. And that $15,000 a month or that $20,000 a month, at the time, I'm already making that. So it's not like that was like extravagant to me, but just to see how they lived their life and they were completely happy, family was good, had their kids, had their houses, all these kind of things. And they were living solely off of trading with just $15,000, $20,000 a month. It completely shifted my mindset of what success looked like for me in the trading world. And when that happened, it allowed me to stop comparing myself to other traders. What I noticed is that typically the ones who do all the flashies and flaunting and all this crazy stuff, they're typically not here long term. And that's truth too. Right? A lot of the traders that I've seen, a lot of traders that even I followed back in 2020, 2021, most of them are not even around. There's a few. There are a few that have been around, but most of them aren't. And the ones that, like, here's the truth too, the ones that still are, you could tell that a lot of their monies, and this is not a bad thing, because I'm not bashing turning trading into a business. I absolutely think anything that you do in life, you should get good and turn into a business. But you can tell that they enjoy more of the lifestyle that they're able to live off of the business that they were able to produce from trading and not trading itself. And again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I'm talking about just solely trading people, solely trading. So my point is stop comparing yourself to other people. You have to figure out what it is that you want in life. You have to figure out what it is that your goals are. You have to figure out how much money you want to make in trading. And if you want to start a trading business or reinvest that trading money into other businesses. The current business that I have right now, the sales business that I run, makes me a lot of money. I have offices all around the country. But the fact of the matter is that I built that business in the beginning because of the fact that I had a lot of money from trading. So I was able to take my money from trading, reinvest that into another business, and now I have essentially, I would say three, right? I have about three businesses that I run, or three companies that I run, all thanks to trading. I'm not a millionaire trader. Have I made over seven figures? Yes, I've made over seven figures, but I am not a millionaire trader, meaning I don't make $1 million plus every year solely from trading. That is not accurate. And I'll say that here, this full transparency, right? But I've made a lot of money. I've been able to take that money, reinvest that money, and now I'm using that money to get even more assets. And I'm going to get into buying land and multifamily, homes and units and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I got rid of this right here, this envy part, that I was able to lock in on myself. I stopped focusing on everybody else. I was able to lock in on myself how much money I needed to make my life better, what it is that I wanted my life to look like, what it is that I wanted my lifestyle to look like, right? And I locked in on Rico. And when I did that, that's when everything in my life changed, right? So stop comparing yourself. Stop being afraid to post out those charts. Stop being afraid to talk about those losses, right? Stop being afraid of all these things. We got to get more open with it. We got to stop comparing. We got to stop being greedy. We got to stop with the fear, with the pride, right? With the gluttony, with the laziness. When you guys can master all of these, when I say master them, I mean get rid of them. Get rid of them and learn how to work them in your favor. I'm telling you, you will be more successful in not only in your trading, but in life in general, right? In life in general. And everything will start to change for you. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to go over and discuss, make sure you guys go ahead and join the Discord. Link is down below in the description. Join the Discord completely free. We're about to turn it up. We are officially at... It never shows back there when I want it to. I'm trying to time it sometimes and it just doesn't work, right? But we're at, what are we at? 115 members. Oh, and we're giving away $100 today, right? Let's see, actually. Yeah, we're giving away some money today. Oh, wow. We got the winners in the chat. So let's go ahead and announce it. If you guys didn't already check the Discord, we got two winners for the $100 giveaway. So we'll announce it right here. The winners are, drum roll, Wanda, right? So Wanda Bracy, right? Is that, hopefully I said the last name right. Wanda Bracy, right? So Wanda and my guy Kev. Easiest $50 each you guys got. You guys voting on $50 each instead of $100 for one person. So $100 giveaway, first giveaway in the chat for literally almost no reason. Of course, it's a big reason. We've reached over 100 members in the Discord, okay, with no promotion, pretty much no promotion. All right, so we're doing great. So appreciate you guys. Let's run it up. All right, let me know on the Discord how it is that you guys want your money sent. But until next time, we'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m.? No, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is your boy Rico, a.k.a. RockStarrFX. I'm out.